What's up, y'all? It's your girl, the Benj and B. What you watching on TV? Oh, well, I've been watching Baddies. Episode 5 of Baddies USA. Honestly, this episode wasn't too eventful, so I'm just gonna kind of jump right into it. First off, can I say, I don't know if it's just me or not, but I feel like these musical intros is getting longer and longer. Like, we damn near listen to the whole fucking song, which would make sense if the song was from one of the girls that are on the show, but it's not. So I'm like, do people pay for like their little features to be on the episodes or some shit? I don't know. It just felt like this intro opening up was like way too long or some shit. And then the episode opens up where the girls are still at rehearsal, and this is where Summer approaches Persuasion. So they get into their little 1-2. Persuasion handled that. You know, she tapped her pretty well. I would say she definitely got that fight. As that fight is finishing up, Natalie asks Summer, she like, well, why did you even do that, right? And so I couldn't even really understand or hear what Summer said, but then Mariah, she piped up talking about because she a hating ass bitch. So then they get into a fight. I'm gonna be honest. Now, I like Mariah. I think Mariah is adorable and she's funny and shit and she got heart and all that. But honestly, I think their little matchup is pretty even. Neither one of them is just like real squabblers. You know what I'm saying? They will both get in there, but it just kind of like watching like kittens roll around or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, okay. Then the next part we come to happens to be with Tommy gets her baddies chain. And so, you know what's so interesting about this? I talk about it all the time, like the little evolution of baddies and shit, you know. And I have to say, I am really happy to see Tommy and Natalie get along, because I know they got kind of a little bumpy past or whatever, and they did the little fight or whatever, and you know, but it's just really cute to kind of see them join forces. So Tommy get her chain. I think that's dope. But also, while Tommy is getting her chain, apparently DJ Sky, she in her feelings because she didn't get her chain. Well, she actually does get a chain, but I guess she felt like she's supposed to get her chain first or some shit. As Natalie is giving Tommy her chain and they hugging and talking it out or whatever, DJ Sky, she jumps out the stage and she goes somewhere in the back. And so Natalie tell her to come back, you know, because I got you a chain too. But I do understand, I probably thought she wouldn't go get no chain, because before Natalie gave Tommy her chain, she did say, I saved the best for last. And so that would seem like ain't nobody else getting no chain. Anyway, Sky gets her chain. And then next up, so now everybody got their chains. We're gonna knock that out the way. Then the girls all decide to get up. Well, I guess it was mandatory. But the girls get up and they all start performing, and I guess they're going over like what they set list gonna be and all that. So they get up, Cold Killer, she do her little thing, a bad bitch party, and then Tinker do her thing, a baddies party. I'm like, oh shit. So when you hear them songs side to side, I can see why Cold Killer feels some kind of way, especially if her shit drop first. But I know the baddies version from Tinkerbella, that's the one that I think is cute. I jammed that. What, you know, whatever. Now we get then we get to Gretchen, and Gretchen do her little performance. You know, she throwing the nigga word out there, and Jayla just sitting there like, okay. Gretchen. So I didn't even know Gretchen do music. I guess that's her claim to being a baddie. I don't really, so let me say this. I don't think we can hear enough of the song for me to give a fair assessment, but that shit wasn't jamming to me. But I want to be fair, and I couldn't hear the whole song, so I'm not gonna say it was garbage, but that shit wasn't jamming. I thought it was very classy for Jayla. After Gretchen did her thing, she approached her and was like, I still don't like that you use that word, but you know, you did your shit and it's cute or whatever, so we cool, you know. That was cute. You know, everybody, they growing. This is cute. I'm liking this. I'm having a good time watching the girls grow up. You know what I'm saying? Now, after that, Suki come out and she do her little performance. Of course, Suki, I mean, that's what she do. You know what I'm saying? Now, she's another one. I couldn't say I'm a musical fan of hers. I just don't really listen to that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? But I like Suki Hana. Like, when I've seen her in interviews and stuff, and I don't know. I think she cool. I like her. You know what I'm saying? But the song, I don't know if you hear me jamming that shit in a drive-thru with Starbucks and my shit. You know what I'm saying? But she get up there and she do her little thing, and it's cute. They having fun. You know what I'm saying? The mood is up. Everybody jamming and shit. It's cool. Then Biggie come up there. So Biggie is another one. Now, I don't really listen to Biggie's songs. I have seen a couple of like her little videos and shit. I think she jamming. Some of her shit I would probably listen to. I wouldn't say I'm a big musical fan. I just love Biggie. Biggie is one of them girls. I'm gonna have to do a dedicated baddies episode where I run down a list of all the baddies and how I feel about them. Or maybe I'll just do one with like my favorite ones and why. Biggie is on the list. She on the list. She one of my favorite baddies. I like her. I've had many questions when she first showed up, but she don't really grew on me. So I fuck with Biggie. Anyway, she do her little practice set and she busts her big ass on the stage and everybody is like still dancing. Dolly get on top of her. started twerking like ain't shit happened, but I think Biggie was like, bitch, I'm really hurt. Like, what the fuck? Okay, then we get to Tommy. So Tommy goes up there, and I forgot Tommy do perform. I remember seeing her do a little bit of her little shit on Love and Hip Hop. She got a little something. I like Tommy's little shit. While she's performing, though, we get a chance to see Tavy Baby and Janelle dancing down in the little audience, you know, the little off the stage area. And Tavy is, I will say, Tavy is aggressive. Tavy's aggressive. And even Janelle clocked it. She was like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? But you know, they just having fun or whatever. So it wasn't really no big thing or no bad thing or whatever. But Tommy kind of noticed them and was like, oh my gosh, she down here like that nigga DMX, you know? So I thought that was comical. Like, to me, when Tommy said that shit, I thought it was funny. I don't really think she meant it. It don't feel like she meant it to say like Tavy is a man. But Tavy was on that ass like a man, you know what I'm saying? And so in the moment, I don't disagree with what Tommy said, but I guess Tavy took it some kind of way. So that's gonna come up in a little bit. Hold on. Now, after we go through the whole Tommy thing, she gets off. The next person up to perform is I thought that they was gonna have a performance together because Tasiki and Krishan get up on the stage together. I think that was the initial plan or something. I'm not sure, but it was like this weird thing with DJ Sky and her playlist or something. Krishan basically lets the girls know that she don't really want to do Vibe, the song Vibe that was popular a few years ago. She don't really want to do Vibe. She want to do her new song called Yahweh, since she made like her little gospel transition. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say about the Krishan performance. So first off, Krishan is my baby. I love her to death. I think she's adorable. Anybody that's ever listened to me talk about Krishan know how I feel about Krishan. And it is what it is. I don't really foresee it changing, right? But I will say that I think that song brought the mood down a little bit. It is a little confusing in that environment, but I do understand her intention in the moment, right? Her intention in the moment is she really looked like she's trying to rebrand herself or something, you know what I'm saying? So she's sticking true to that. She's not fighting as much. She's not going as hard, which that's going to come up again in a moment too. I'm gonna give y'all my 2 cents on that. But the song in this atmosphere was a little awkward to me, and I really wasn't feeling it, and I don't really know if I like that song a whole lot, not because of the subject matter or nothing, but just because it's not really especially jamming to me. So that was kind of off-putting, but everybody get a chance to show their shit. So by now, all of the girls they get a chance to do their little performances, and the rehearsal, I think, is pretty much over for the most part. Now, this is where they get reintroduced to the baddie bus. We ain't seen the baddie bus in a long time, and that's really like one of the first things that all the girls say. They like, oh shit, we get a baddies bus. So they get this big badass bus pull up, and all the girls go out there to get on the bus. I think Natalie had a performance, so they're heading to New York to get ready for one of their first shows. And then I believe Natalie went a different direction. She had to perform at Virginia State, which I thought was super dope. I won't spend a lot of time on that because I don't really give a fuck about it. But I like that she's performing. And I will say, and I'm not trying to be biased, I don't know if I'm a Natalie Nunn fan or not. I think I kind of am. I think I'm kind of a Natalie Nunn fan too, just because of the way that bitch move. Like, to deny the way she moved, you would have to be like a hating asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like, that bitch, she is about her shit. And she set her mind to some shit. She locked in on it, and she did that. And so, I really admire people like that, you know? But in any case, she's been doing music too. I think the last season, I know this season, I think the last season, and it could be the season before that, she did the songs for the intros to those seasons. And they was jamming. I really like this latest one. It's dun 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 dun. Hey, that shit is jamming, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, Natalie is gonna go perform at Virginia State. She meet up with some dude from, what's his name? Let me see what his name is. Hold on. Actually, I'm gonna come back to that because as we get on the bus, all of the girls get to kind of get on. They get to check and see. I think they say there's 18 beds on there. Ooh, Lord, that seemed like a cramped ass space. But there's room for everybody on the bus. So the girls kind of looking around on the bus. And so now this is where they take off. Now, as they begin to move, of course, all of the girls are in the cramped space. So now naturally, this is gonna be where they spend a lot of their time and everybody kind of talking. We get to the big three. We have Dolly, we got Lex, and we got Summer. They sitting down there. Rolly is kind of talking, and I guess you would say like mediating the conversation. She wasn't really staring it or trying to stare it. And I will say that she did speak up for Summer, which that's what I'm telling you, Rolly the shit, man. She is unbiased. She keep that shit 100. And I agree with what she was saying, right? She was basically like, you know, Summer is who she is, and she don't give a fuck. She's not gonna apologize for it. All things that we can appreciate. But at the same time, you need to know when to turn this shit on and when to turn that shit off. And if you got your homegirls that you're supposed to be tight with, them supposed to be the people that you listen to. Even if you tell everybody else fuck themselves, these supposed to be the people that you can take some correction from, right? So even in the midst of the conversation, Dolly gets to say her little piece. Okay. Oh my God, Biggie outfit the shit. That bitch with that Kango hat, she is everything. Okay, so anyway, conversation been going on the last couple of episodes, really. Essentially, everybody is saying, like, Dolly and Lex is both just saying, like, look, we fuck with you. We fuck with you heavy, right? And so when we telling you need to chill, you need to chill. Summer is taking it like, oh, well, y'all telling me I'm bringing down the vibe, so I'm just gonna back up and I just don't want to be cool no more. And they just like, but that's so, like, what? You know what I'm saying? I actually understand what Summer is saying. I understand where she's coming from. And so this is one of those points that Summer, like, this is what they talking about. She won't bend at all. I don't know on what planet. I can kind of understand. Summer to me reminds me of some of the assumptions that I have about like Krishan and Siki and them, right? Like some of these girls that go super hard. Yeah, we got to keep in mind that they like that for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And so Summer is like that. And I think she is just always in survival mode, right? So anything that go against what she immediately agree with, she's not backing down. You know what I'm saying? So she like, well, fuck it, bitch. If y'all don't like the way I'm moving, then fuck it, we just ain't supposed to be friends. And I think that bothers them because they're not saying they don't want to be cool with her. They just saying they want her to chill. Instead of her taking the information and being like, okay, well, I'll chill out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Then she's just like, she goes from we super cool, best of friends. Well, fuck it, I'm not gonna chill. So fuck y'all and I'm not cool with y'all no more. And that just seems to be pretty extreme. You know what I'm saying? I think all the girls are saying that. Now, while they're having their conversation, Tavy is like, oh, well, wait a minute. So are y'all saying the big three ain't a thing no more? And Fauna is kind of like, yo, like, what, you know, why are you interjecting it? Like, is you gonna do something if something happened? And Tavy like, shit, if I got to. Fauna's perspective, when she's in a confessional, basically she's a little offended that Tavy is interjecting herself in the conversation between the big three. She feel like if it ain't got nothing to do with you, like, why the fuck is you even saying something about it? Now, with the Fauna and Tavy thing, Fauna seems to be very irritated with Tavy. And it don't feel like she irritated for the reasons that are being set forth in the moment. I think it's something else going on with them motherfuckers, them two, girl. Something else is going on with that. So hopefully we're gonna get that information very soon. But you can see the cracks is starting to build between them a little bit right here, right? Then we have to, okay, so here's another thing with Biggie, right? So Biggie gets on the bus. Now the other girls come up. A few of them got on already, and a couple of the other girls, Biggie and Mariah and them, I think they start pulling up to get on the bus. Biggie had on a beige Kango hat and a beige tracksuit. That bitch is so fly. I was sitting there the whole time. I'm like, matter of fact, I think I had Googled. I took a screenshot and tried to Google that tracksuit. I want that tracksuit. Fresh to death. Now, who is this dude? What's his name? Mr. Ray. I have no idea who the fuck he is. So, the girls get on the bus. Everybody just really kind of conversing. It's the same old shit. But then they show us now, Natalie has made it to Virginia State for her performance. And she meet up with some dude named Mr. Ray. He's like a reality show legend. I don't recognize him. Mr. Ray. I don't recognize him. So, I'm not really sure what he was in. But apparently, he gets lots and lots of respect. Which is, I ain't mad at that. But he's there basically kind of hosting her while she's getting ready for her performance at Virginia State. So she get there, she do her performance, and I think she said she had a 45-minute set and she was the only one there, which is weird. Like, I think she should have bought at least like 2 or 3 of the baddies with her, but she didn't. However, she did call Fauna on FaceTime while she was there, because I think Fauna is the one of the baddies that's like in school, and you know what I mean? Yeah, so we get to see Natalie do her performance. She bring out some of the Virginia State dancers. They get to come out there and perform. That went all right or whatever. Oh, okay, so now I forgot also, while the girls is on the bus and they still making their way to New York, Biggie and Anna end up getting into like a real big argument. I guess Biggie wanted another seat or something, and Anna had a seat dedicated to her chicken sandwich. So Biggie was feeling some kind of way about it. So here's what I'm gonna say with them. They had like this weird back and forth type of friendship thing. I will say, as much as I like Biggie, I think Biggie is very sensitive, but it's not like a sensitive that's like aggressive or dangerous. It's just probably that type of sensitive that get on your motherfucking nerves. nerves. She's like, God damn, you always in your feelings, you know. And so I understand Anna's point, being like, girl, shut the fuck up. Like, you gotta see, like, what is we talking about? And to be fair, Anna was actually playing with her, and so Biggie started getting a little serious about it. You know, they just like annoying little sisters. Although I will say that when you start exchanging energy and shit like that between people, like, it usually be some kind of underlying issue. So maybe they do have a little unresolved resentment or something going on between the two of them that they'll probably end up hashing through. But anyway, we get past that. So then now we double back to the bus where Krishan is explaining to the girls about DJ Sky. So apparently she's saying DJ Sky is just an industry friend. I guess some shit happened where Krishan, when she first got there, because everybody know Krishan was infamous for all her blue face tattoos, right? So she had the blue face tattoo on her neck. And then once that shit really kind of fizzled out, she went and got it covered up with a rose, which was weird because then after that she went and got that nigga face tattooed on her face. I was like, Chris, what are you doing? Anyway, when she got the tattoo with the rose to cover up the neck tat she had of him, she said DJ Sky was there with her, and that DJ Sky waited till she was asleep and then took a picture of it and then she posted it. And so that made her feel some kind of way. I guess she didn't really say too much about it in the moment, but from there she could see that she thought DJ Sky was really an industry friend. And I'm gonna tell you the truth, DJ Sky strike me as that. I remember seeing them on the first time when they came on the show, and they were saying that DJ Sky was Krishan's bestie, and I'm just like, do they kick it? Like, this bitch don't look like she roam the streets of Baltimore. Does she roam the streets of Baltimore? I mean, maybe she do. I don't, what the fuck do I know? You know what I'm saying? But I just was like, I don't know. And then they were talking about how she a DJ and this and that. Apparently she's a very well-known DJ. She apparently works with a lot of people that's in Hollywood, so these ain't her only clients or whatever. But it is something a little, you know, it's something about Sky that's a little shifty to me. You know what I mean? I don't really think, she probably not necessarily a bad girl, but she seems a little shifty to me. Also, I think my opinion of her is tainted by that incident with her, E.T., her friends, and then that little girl that did makeup. There was a whole thing on IG. I think that happened like either earlier this year or last year, where Sky was with some girls that jumped on another girl who came up to kick it with her. That's a whole nother, I'm not finna go there. Anyway, I would just say any bitch that facilitate incidents like that is a little shady to me, and I probably would fuck with that hoe. You know what I'm saying? So Krishan gets to discuss that a little bit. She really is feeling some kind of way about DJ Sky and kind of how she moves. So finally the girls get to New York. It's the next morning. The girls are in New York. It looked like Natalie done got to New York, and so she ended up meeting with Rolly. And I can appreciate the conversation they had. Basically, she was letting Rolly know that, you know, even though they get into their little shits or whatever, when the other girls talk their shit, she don't really give a damn about that. But because her and Rolly have gone back so far and really been through so much of this shit together, she feels some kind of way when Rolly feels some kind of way. So if Rolly's feelings are hurt, or if she is mad at Natalie, it bothers her. Not necessarily like, you know, bitch, what's up? But, you know, she said it bothered her. So she wanted to pull her to the side and say to her that she do appreciate her being around and what she do. They on that grown woman shit, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciated this moment. I really liked it a lot. And it looked like they have mended their fences, at least for now. The next meeting we get to have is going to be, Biggie goes to meet with Scotty. And then Tommy comes in with Lex. This is another progressive conversation that was had with the girls, which I was delighted to see, because I could never understand what the fuck Lex had against Scott. I mean, I did understand it because she has explained it before, but essentially the girls, they get to discuss the fact that they really didn't have no concrete beef between the two of them. It's kind of like your group versus my group, and then you're talking shit, but then can't nobody touch you, so that make me want to touch you, is what Lex is saying, right? Like, I get that. And it's so weird because I've always thought of them as being kind of alike. Now, Lex obviously is more of a fighter than Scotty. Like, Lex can throw them hands. Scotty not really a fighter, but they both are like girly, very cute girls, and they seem intelligent and shit. You know what I mean? Like, you just seem like they would get along. And ordinarily, probably in any other life, they probably would get along just fine. So it's good to see them have that conversation and get to squash their little shit. We like, okay, we digging that. Okay, so after Scotty and them, they squash their little shit. That's cute or whatever. Then we get to see Gretchen, Summer, and Smiley walking down the street. I guess now since Summer ain't fucking with Lex and Dolly, she finna have to find her some new people to kind of meander through the world with, which, you know, whatever. But they do start talking, and they kind of get into like what's going on with her and the other two girls. What's up with the big three? And so Summer again explains that she feel like that they fake and that they don't want to stand up for her, and like she feels like they're telling her that she's getting on their nerves so that she don't want to be their friends because they're fake. And Smiley, surprisingly, Smiley is like, yo, your ass do be doing too much. And she was like, I really think y'all need to just talk. You need to talk to them, but talk to them when you're not drunk. Because when you're drunk, you get dumb and ignorant as hell. I think that's some pretty sound advice coming from Smiley. Okay, so we get back on the bus and the girls are headed somewhere. Everybody is jam-packed in the space. So when we get back on the bus now, Tavy and Tommy get into like a little back and forth and they talking shit to each other. Basically, Tavy is pissed off about the DMX comment. She don't appreciate that shit. And Tommy is just kind of like, I think Tommy is like thinking it's not that big of a deal, but of course she's standing her little ground. So they kind of argue or whatever. Basically, it's still up with them, but at least they didn't physically fight. Next, we get to Scotty and Lex. So Scotty basically reveals to the rest of the girls, and what's so funny is she was sitting right next to Summer when she was talking about this shit. Summer didn't. I look happy, child. But she reveals to the rest of the girls that they had a chance to talk and kind of squash their beef, and like it was already squashed, but now they get to talk through or whatever, and they cool. Like they done buried the hatchet, and so they good. We get that little news. Then we get to where Rolly decides to bring up to DJ Sky that people on here are they're not excited, or they're feeling some kind of way about the way she was playing their music. Basically, she's talking about Krishan. Okay, so now we get to, I think I've already discussed the DJ Sky thing. So now we get to the DJ Sky thing. We get into a little bit more detail of why Krishan is so upset with her. Because like I said, Krishan has been very calm. Up to this point, she's been pretty calm. This episode 5 and Shane Squabble Chat. Give it to me. So basically, she discusses how she think that Sky is doing little shit to try to get a spot on Baddies. I guess somebody posted something that was a little less flattering about Krishan, and DJ Sky liked it on social media. And so to her, that made her feel some kind of way, which that's supposed to be your homegirl. You will feel some kind of way if somebody like a post that speaks negatively about you. You're gonna be like, bitch, that's why I don't fuck with half the family members I fuck with. Clock that. Anyway, so Krishan is feeling some kind of way about that shit. You know what I'm saying? And Sky is kind of standing her ground or whatever, but she's not really saying she didn't do it, but then they get into the whole discussion of why she's doing it. Krishan is bringing home the point that like she doing this shit to be on Baddies. She tired of being a DJ. She want an actual spot. So she trying to do a little shady shit so that she'll stick out. Child, they go back and forth a little bit, and the episode actually ends with Krishan. DJ Sky was sitting across the room, and Krishan threw something at her and popped in the face when it was like, bitch, step up. If you're gonna do something, step up. Krishan throws a thing, steps back, I guess she get ready to go back to her seat, and then child, DJ Sky had the nerve to charge towards her. I don't know. What? Now, I don't know what convinced DJ Scott to do that, other than the fact that Krishan is right and that bitch want a spot to be on Baddies, right? You just proved the point. So it ends with that. We do get some pretty delicious tidbits for next week. So next week, they show us where I guess they're gonna complete that little altercation between Krishan and Sky. And it was two blondes on the thing. Let me see. Hold on. Krishan and Sky. That's Nunu and somebody. Who is that Nunu fighting with? Oh, that's right. So yeah, on the next episode, they gonna finish out the little conversation between Sky and Krishan, and then it looked like Tommy and Tavy gonna get to have they one too. And then Nunu is in the kitchen with somebody. I couldn't really even tell who she was in there talking to. But then also they showed a little clip with Sky and Anna Mac. So Anna Mac and her gonna end up getting into it too. Child, I don't know. I will say that it took them a little minute to get physical this season. We had a lot of kumbayas and all that, and I'm for the kumbayas. I'm not offended by it, but now these little girls gonna get to this New York house and it's about to go down. So that's all I got to say about that shit, y'all. It's your girl, the Benjamin B. Go find me something else to watch on TV. I'm gonna talk to y'all soon. Bye.